People often like to escape to the sea, or to the mountains, or even to the forests. But here in Egypt, they can also escape to the desert. It is indeed a most exciting experience. Every day, more and more people come from all parts of the world to share in this thrilling and exciting adventure. Europeans call it the Sahara Safari, the desert trip. They start from a camp near the pyramids of Giza, and their route takes them past these huge monuments and through the pleasant green fields flanking the great river Nile. The first target of the caravan is near Asyut. It is from there that the caravan turns west to the desert, to the enchanting desert of Egypt. Here, the tourist is able to return to nature, to his origin, to depending on himself, for he even carries his own lodgings. But the desert is not dead or inanimate as many people may think. It is a huge sea of sand, filled with islands teeming with life. The nearest of these islands is Kharga Oasis, the capital of the new valley in the Egyptian Western Desert. The oasis is not without its history. It had a flourishing pharaonic culture, and some of the relics are still preserved in a special museum. The most prominent exhibit in this museum are the rare pictures portraying an eloquent praise of the pharaonic ruler of the oasis. Here we also find the temple of Hebus, built in honor of the god Amun, which for thousands of years has defied the violent desert sandstorms. Pillars and inscriptions tell of 4 historical periods going back some 26 centuries to the Pharaohs, the Persians, the Ptolemies, and the Romans. The Christian period is evident in the relics at Bagwat, a cemetery dating to the 4th century AD. It is a rich field of Christian architecture comprising 10 different styles, as seen in the remnants of 263 structures. In the center, there is an old church whose pictures and inscriptions are an important reference to artists and to religious storytellers. A beautiful feature of the modern period in the Kharga oasis is the pool for the Chinese ducks. Water flows into an artificial lake from a nearby well, providing the largest water surface to be found in the desert. The sun sets over the city, and the caravan sleeps its first night, inhaling the clean, dry air of the desert. Early in the morning, the caravan heads for the famous plateau nearby, Abu Tartur. Here, the machine surprises the visitors with an existing truth. Under the sand lies an endless treasure, phosphates from fossils. Yes, the sea was here once upon a time, millions of years ago. The sea has left behind an enormous mine, billions of tons of phosphate in an area of 1,000 square kilometers between the two oases, Kharga and Dakhla. The caravan continues its journey to the Dakhla oasis, to its capital, Mout. Here, Pharaonic, Greek and Islamic civilizations embrace together among the ruins of the old city. And thanks to the abundant artesian water granted by the ground in this area, tens of villages are spread around Mout. One of the important ones is Qasr. The village appears to be a record for Islamic architecture. Among its famous constructions is a mosque dating back to the Mamluk period. And it still sounds the call to prayer 5 times a day.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Others are also continuing their jobs in Qasr. The potters are still doing their job with the same material, the same artistic touch and the same character. Once more the sun sets, and the caravan camps again, looking forward to the next stop in the fascinating Egyptian desert. The relics in Al-Muzawwaqa are all tombs carved in the rock during the Roman period. They are engraved in bright colors, inspiring weddings and celebrations. No wonder the site is called Al-Muzawwaqa, the colorful. But the fascination and secret of the desert is not only in its relics. It is a living being. Even the sand moves and very often crawls to bury palm trees. The Bedouins call it the living sand, Al-Garud, and are afraid of it because it moves and changes the desert, threatening travelers who could lose their way. But the caravan sleeps assured. The modern equipment they carry will guide their course. The next morning, the journey continues south to the plateau of Gilf el-Kabir and Mount Awainat on the borders with Libya and the Sudan. This is how the desert drives its visitor back to his childhood, how it forces him to break his way through, using all his capabilities. And also how it forces the spoiled city man to use his muscles. Now the road straightens out, And the troubles of walking in the sand give way to the troubles of walking on mountain rock. At the end of the day, the caravan camps, uncomplaining. After all, it has escaped from the world of push buttons and polluted air, from the enervating machine which has turned the human being into a nervous machine. The caravan came to purge itself with clean air, to purge its ears with the whispering calmness of the desert, to purge its muscles with movement and activity, and purge its stomach with simple food.
Who is the specialist of Nobel? You have it very important.
On the next day, the tourists crossed the Egyptian border to a new adventure in another country, but only after the Egyptian desert had purged them from the inside and supplied them with the need for health and